Oh, Sonic. Sanic, Tanic, bang it. What has happened to you? Does anyone else feel like Sonic is like that naturally gifted and responsible high school student that got praised from teachers but could still hang, but then got really fucked up when he got to college because he tried a bunch of drugs and alcohol, and now he has a mediocre job and is constantly reminded of what he used to be? No? Just me? No? I don't know. Sonic the Hedgehog is Sega's golden child. The one that gets spoiled no matter what happens. His parents will always love him. The problem is, he doesn't deserve it as much as he used to. And, just to make it clear, I am pretty young. I'm not a grown man who's been with Sega and Sonic from the start, but I've played a good chunk of the original games, and I've played a bunch of the modern games. I haven't played all of the Sonic games in the world, but I've played enough to develop a love for the character, and then be utterly disappointed by what has happened over the years. So let's review the rise and fall of Chronic the Bing Bong, shall we? Real quick though, Sonic had its original numbered games with a few other titles here and there. Knuckles got a game for some reason, cause like, sure, why not? A kid in a penis, am I right? Then we got a dropout Sonic who got arrested for selling drugs on school property, with a select few moments of him trying to get back to his feet. Of course, in between all of this, we have a racing game throughout his lifespan, and Sonic the Fighters, because we can't forget that gem. Oh, and it would be a sin to forget Sonic motherfucking R! Woo! We're only going to be talking about the main titled games, no spin-off, racing games, or anything like that. So let's get into that shit. The original 2D games are gems. Get it? An all-around simplistic and fun concept and series of games. Level designs were always great.
Sonic Speed
has always felt good to control. The visuals were spot on and still are even. And that's about it. It honestly, nothing else really to it. When you think Sonic, it's always about speed and platforming, so it's naturally gonna have a sense of repetition and not much to innovate or anything like that. But that wasn't the point. New Sonic games were the way to introduce new characters and play new levels as a familiar character we all enjoyed. If it isn't obvious, I thoroughly enjoyed 2D Bionic games with really no issue at all other than the random moments where you're forced to slow down. But that comes with any Sonic game. The problem with I and most people have is the new generation of Sonic 3D. Anyone who pays attention to Sonic whatsoever will know that the moment the blue blur went into 3D, everything kind of went to shit. There are of course people who say it went to shit around Sonic 06, the infamous attempt of a reboot, or before that even with Shadow the Hedgehog, and if not that, then Sonic Heroes. Whoever says Sonic Heroes is wrong though! Another video for another time. I'll say this right from the get. Sonic Adventure was a shit game. It's a lot of people's favorite Sonic game, or just a game in general. If it is, fine, I don't really care, but it really is a bad game. It's glitchy, controls like you're wiggling a flaccid dong with overly responsive controls, pretty bad voice acting, any level that wasn't a Sonic level was terrible to play, and it's just bad, man. Comical if anything, really. Regardless of all the issues, people still hold it dear to their hearts and either can't see the flaws or just refuse to accept it mainly because of nostalgia. And they go on and on about how Sonic should be just like Sonic Adventure, when in reality, that's what Sonic 06 was. Look how that throbbing piece of cat shit went. I don't even need to explain what everyone else had. It's honestly one of the absolute worst licensed games to come out in modern times, and without a doubt, the worst Sonic game to release. At least it was. Until Red Button took a shot at bringing Sonic back. Fucking E.T. is better when you look at the development history. But moving on, Adventures was the beginning of the falling out for the little golden glitter, as a number of terrible 3D Sonic games released year after year. Secret Rings, Unleashed, another video for another time. Black Knight, Rise of Lyric. Ah, man. Again, not including some spin-offs like fucking Pinball, or like half of the Olympic Games he was in, or Racers. God-forsaken free riders. Anyway, you might be asking why these games are so bad, and the answer are more or less the same. Very poor controls, incredibly dumb premise, such as being a knight for whatever reason, or becoming a fucking Werehog, oh my god. Trying to do different things with the story that were dumb, poor levels, and or gameplay. One of the games was Rise of Lyric, the most recent worst Sonic game or modern game. That's saying a lot when you're worse than Sonic 06. Well, I'm aware these failed games were attempts to bring something different to the franchise and not give fans and gamers the same thing. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to do. Example, one of the better and probably best to come out in modern day, Sonic Generations. This was a game to celebrate Sonic whichever anniversary, I don't know. And it brought classic and modern versions of Sonic together for one hell of a fun experience. Side note, they also did it with Tails for story purposes, because like time travel was a thing with both versions of Eggman, and they even made a nod to the names being different. It was great. What was great about this game was that 2D sections were given to classic Sonic, while modern Sonic had the 3D stages, but they both had the same stage. This being the case, it gave variety to an already existing levels, and they did a good fucking job with it. Neither of them were a pain to control, and both had so much replayability. It was a good game, both in story and gameplay, and it showed that Sega could have success with returning to its roots. That's not what you would want and feel like there should be something new. Another example of a good title, Sonic Colors. Colors was a Wii exclusive that did everything right in terms of making a good game. New mechanics were introduced by introducing new cute alien characters who helped in missions that you were trying to save them due to story. Gee, I wonder from who? Each alien creature thing, wisps, they're called wisps, gave Sonic a different ability that allowed him to progress smoothly through a level, and it fit into the Sonic world. This game switched from 2D to 3D and, again, actually controlled well. So, simplicity within the story and concept, good controls, added new things to the gameplay that contributed and not take away from the game, and pretty good fucking level design. Sega is capable! And while I know I said I wanted to focus on the main titles, I also at least want to address the Sonic Rush games. The gameplay of it was fucking good! Like bruh, fucking goot! Like, it was fucking awesome! That's probably the best way and most entertaining portable console Sonic game just because of how fast you could go. Same could be said with Sonic Rivals. It wasn't really as fast as Rush, but the movement of the game always allowed you to keep moving and never really stop, and each area was basically a normal 2D Sonic level with a 3D feel, just turned into a race. They could pull off being normal levels in classic Sonic games. This leads to the question, why are there so many bad main title Sonic games? Why can't Sega get things right and get back to a good streak? Mario games in recent years haven't been amazing by any means, but they're still enjoyable. So why can't Sega give the same treatment to their Golden Boy? Honestly, I think they're just trying too hard. They're trying to innovate and bring new life to the franchise and keep the game fresh, but a lot of them are overly ambitious and try to do too much. Again, what does Mario do to bring some sort of new light? Always introduces at least one new power-up or brings back an old one fans like. And hell, look at Mario Odyssey! That's basically taking the same open world formula from Mario 64 and Sunshine and doing it well, and it adds new mobility options that will make it more fun to control and visually appealing. Sonic Team needs to take a step back, take a breath, and go back to the basics. Go to Generations, go back to Colors. And I'm not saying make those games again, I'm just saying go back to the simple things and add something small to make it refreshing. A game I haven't mentioned yet is Sonic Lost World. It was a somewhat controversial title since it was being compared to Mario Galaxy and it introduced new villains that are admittedly pretty stupid. I won't go into details about my feelings about the game, but I do enjoy it. It's visually bright and pleasant, and it's reminiscent of a classic games. I bring it up because I feel like more Sonic games should play like that game did, mainly because of the camera. It was slightly overhead, and it was pulled out to see more than just Sonic's big-ass head and his feet kicking him in the ass. Make him actually fast, definitely faster than he was in Lost World. Make it a narrow, straight shot, bring back the alternating 2D and 3D, make sure it controls well, throw in a new power-up or mechanic, and you got a good game on your hands, Sega. As long as you don't make a dumbass premise. But I mean, hey, for all that we know, Sonic Forces could be the exact thing I'm talking about. Oh shit, bring out the DeviantArt, kids. OC's coming to life. Don't do steals. Nothing personnel, kid. Woohoo! I'm not sure if this video was kind of jumpy. If it was, sorry. But that's how I feel about Sonic's history and how it should change. Everyone has their own opinion on how Sonic should change, and that's mine. Another good one that's probably better than mine is called How Do We Fix Sonic by Blaze Hedgehog. It's another man's perspective and a more detailed explanation of what he feels would work and already does. With that though, this video comes to a close, and I'm pretty sure you can tell that there's definitely gonna be more Sonic videos down the road.
By the way, Sonic Mania can tear my ass apart with its sweet gameplay, opening animation and music. It's sad that fans can come up with better fresh ideas than Sonic Team can at this point. But dear lord, take me Sonic Mania. Take me.